Audio recordings of a racist rant allegedly made by LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling surfaced over the weekend, causing widespread condemnation from the league, the players, the fans, and even President Obama. Sterling's blatant racism has been no secret in the NBA, yet he remains the longest tenured owner in the league. But could this be the catalyst for action to finally be done or made by the NBA? And do the players have the will to force the issue and force Sterling's removal? How unsurprised were you by this?
It's funny. I had a chance over probably 6 or 7 different days to spend more than 20 hours sitting across this very council table from Donald Sterling, asking him questions under oath. So I was not the least bit surprised to hear about his racist rants. Every time he's ever been in my office, I would try to confront him with these allegations, going back all the way to the early 80s. And he took great offense to that. So hearing his words, and make there be no mistake about it, those are his words. That is his voice. It brings a certain joy to my heart.
But I think there's a difference between having racist attitudes that, say, a Riley Cooper may or may not have, I suspect he does, and someone like Donald Sterling, who is in a position of power. He is in the power to make his racism policy in terms of who he hires, in terms of how much he pays people. He was reportedly very tough with negotiations with black players like Danny Manning, who was a star player, saying, the money I'm offering you is a lot of money for a poor little black boy or black kid. When you have the power to enforce racism, it seems to me that it's a little different than just let the free market decide.
Well, of course, it's completely different. I mean, racism is about power. And he has the power to enforce that racism. And that's what he does. That's why there was a discrimination lawsuit by the Department of Justice brought against him. And he has the biggest settlement in a discrimination lawsuit in LA history. It belongs to him, the $2.7 million. That is the largest ever. I mean, so this has really been documented for a long time. But as people start pulling out of sponsorship, as you see State Farm, you see CarMax, that's what's going to make them react. That's what's going to make people react to dollar signs. The reason why the Dan Snyder is still here in the Washington football team, and everybody knows he is a horrible human being of a person, and he is on record bragging about how much he loves the Redskins name, how it's a badge of honor, is because nobody's pulling out. It's not affecting them economically. Once you're affected economically, then something will happen. So now you have Adam Silver. So he sees people pull out. He sees somebody at State Farm. As more people pull out, as more things are going to hit them in the pocketbook, then they'll change. It'll force their hand. They'll have no choice, even if they don't really want to. Even if they want to give him a slighter punishment, people respond to losing money. That's the American way, right? They respond to losing money. So if that happens, he'll be out of the door very quickly.
On May 15th, the Los Angeles chapter of the NAACP was actually set to honor Sterling with a lifetime achievement award. This man was clearly deserving of an award. I mean, how could we not give him one? I mean, in March, he admitted 1,000 underprivileged children for free to a Clippers game in honor of Black History Month in March. Black History Month is in February, but whatever. The NAACP has revoked the award. Etan said people are running. State Farm ran. NAACP is running. It's a little puzzling to me how a known racist who was investigated by the Department of Justice for housing discrimination in Los Angeles could be offered an award by the NAACP of Los Angeles. What is going on, Mark? How does this stuff happen? Is this just big money talks, poor people walk?
I think so, and I think you'll see it. I used to cover the Jewish community, and you see it there too, and I'm sure you see it across different, interest groups where you can donate money. I think Coca-Cola is a huge NAACP sponsor, despite the fact that the problem of big soda-related health issues in inner cities is obviously a problem because they donate money, and so I think it's just something you see a lot of places. You can buy these things, and I'm willing to cut a little bit of slack because maybe the NAACP can go and do good things with money he gives, I guess. But yeah, obviously it looks pretty terrible when they were set to honor this guy, and the fact that this came now is really bad timing. But again, we have a very, very, very long track record on Donald Sterling. It's not like we needed this to know that he should not be, in my opinion, should not have been receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award from the NAACP. I like what you said, that he's deserving of some award from the NAACP, probably not for Lifetime Achievement.
This is a dude that used to run the NBA refs, and then he went and ran the Pac-12 basketball officials and got himself in trouble for doing the same shit he did back when he worked at the NBA. And so, no, I wasn't surprised.